Strawberry syrup is a great addition to either cocktails or even desserts, and today that is what we are making. Hey guys, it's Eric the Drink Idiot here, and I am making a non-alcoholic strawberry syrup from fresh strawberries. This is really easy. It's basically like a simple syrup infused with fruit, and you can follow the same recipe for raspberries, for pineapples, for blueberries, whatever kind of syrup basically you want to make. You can kind of take the same base recipe and apply it to that. Now, cooking times will vary from fruit to fruit, but today I'm using strawberries because I want to make some cool recipes in the future here. So what I have is a pound of strawberries that I've hulled and quartered. So basically, you hull them, remove the stems, cut them into fours. You have your pound of strawberries hulled and quartered. Just some regular granulated sugar, and my water sucks, so I just use bottled water. And those are the only three ingredients you need. You're going to need a glass and a funnel to transport them in, something that seals airtight, and some strainers as well to we're going to filter the particles out. So let's jump over to the stove and get this thing going. Alright, so first thing you want to do is take a bottle of water or 2 cups of water and put it into I'm using a 2-quart saucepan. Put that on a medium-high heat. And once it warms up a little bit, you dump in 1 cup of sugar, give it a nice little stir to let that dissolve. And once that part is dissolved, add in your 2nd cup of sugar and stir that up as well as you're pouring it in so it dissolves nicely. Just give it a little stir throughout while you wait for it to boil, and you'll see that the steam starts to rise on it and a little bit of bubbles start to form in the bottom, and that's right before you get a rolling boil. At this point, you can go ahead and add your chopped up strawberries to the mix. Just try and be careful not to splash yourself with the warm water when you're putting them in there. So this should pretty much cover the strawberries completely, and once you get them in there, just give it a nice little stir. So I stir these up a little bit and then leave it on a medium-high heat so it'll come back up to a boil. As you can see, it starts to steam after a while, and it can be kind of hard to see the bubbles at first because of all the fruit in there, but you will notice a little bit of frothiness at the top, and they start to bubble a little bit. As you can see on the top part there, it's bubbling up pretty good. At this point, you put it on a simmer, let it sit for 20 minutes, and you end up with this after 20 minutes. A lot of the color's gone out of the strawberries. It's foamy. Alright, so got it off the stove, let it sit for probably about 20 minutes to cool down some. We're just going to strain this off. Hopefully not spill a bunch. Oh yeah. You end up with this really nice, rich, red mixture. Oh, that looks good. It's very dark red, and you get these gooey strawberries when you're left over. I mean, you just discard them. I've also heard of people putting them on yogurt or ice cream and stuff as kind of a dessert topper so as to not waste the strawberries. I bet they are pretty darn good. I was also told not to smash down the strawberries to kind of get the extra juice out of them. It'll cloud up your syrup and you won't get it quite as nice that way. So it's still got a little bit more cooling down to do before I put it into my other bottles, and I actually have another container I like to put it in that is easier to pour from, so hopefully that'll keep me from spilling as much. And when I bottle it, I like to strain it through yet again, just to make sure everything's out of there. And I mean, look at that. It is a nice, it's a nice, beautiful red, and this right here is fantastic. All natural. Cannot beat it. I'd like to, you can, if you'd like to put a little bit of vodka in there, maybe a ½ ounce of vodka in this bottle here. This bottle holds about 10 ounces, by the way. Put a little bit of vodka in there, ½ ounce. It'll last a lot longer. You might get an extra, like, you might get a month or 2 out of it, whereas this bottle itself, you might get only a week or 2 without a preservative in there. And another question that people might have is in regards to using frozen strawberries. And I would say yes, you probably could use frozen strawberries, but you might get a different flavor and it might not take as long to cook, especially if you thaw the strawberries first. You might find that it don't take long at all, or you might find that it doesn't work nearly as well. Your flavor might be way off as opposed to using fresh. And I mean, really, fresh doesn't take that much extra effort, so I would just say stick with the fresh. Okay, so all in all, I had just under 4 cups of, so probably about 30 ounces of strawberry syrup I made with that 1 pound of strawberries and the 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar. It's a very, very good syrup. Like I said, airtight container in a refrigerator, 1 to 2 weeks. You can judge based on the flavor. The flavor starts to kind of go bad on you, get rid of it. Feel free to add a little bit of vodka to preserve it a little bit longer. You might get a couple months out of it even, with about a ½ ounce of vodka per every cup. But I think also you can, if you want to add a little more dimension to it and you have some orange flower water sitting around, you want to put maybe a 1/4 ounce of it in there as well. It'll add a nice little dimension to it and bring out some more flavor. But this stuff, you're going to be seeing a lot of it because I now have about 4 cups to use up in liquor recipes. So if you like this one, give me a subscribe. I'd love to hear some suggestions as well on what I can make with this stuff. So if you have any, put them in the comments below. Until next time, remember, it's okay to drink like an idiot.